13 News at Noon starts with breaking news. We are learning a possible tire malfunction led to that deadly crash involving Purdue's Boilermaker Special, the mascot vehicle, very well known here in Indiana. Tippecanoe County investigators say the possible tire problem caused the vehicle to cross the median into oncoming traffic late yesterday afternoon. That's where it hit a car, killing the car's driver. We now know 2 Purdue students were on the Boilermaker Special at the time. The driver, 20 years old, the passenger, 22. They are both expected to be okay. In a statement to 13 News, Purdue University leaders said they are aware of the crash, of course, and offered thoughts to those impacted. We're going to pass along any new information as we learn more about that developing story there in Tippecanoe County. Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at noon. Meteorologist Sean Ash is here on this soggy Friday. We are dodging downpours today, Sean.
So it's kind of good and bad.
Okay.
It's good that we've got the rain because it's going to limit any severe weather potential.
That's great news.
It's bad, I guess, if you had a tea time or if you've got prom, things like that.
Yeah.
You're going to need to watch the radar and know that some of these events will be delayed or postponed. Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. And we're talking from now until about 8 o'clock here. Downpours at times. Rain's certainly going to be likely in that window. And in some of the heavier pockets, some localized street flooding in place. So make sure you monitor the radar before you head out. And just know, as I'll show you the radar here in a moment, more on than off today. And if you've been outside, you know, it's a little bit more humid than we had the last couple of days. That's going to help fuel some of the rain that we're seeing here. And you can see some of the pockets. Remember yesterday, Johnson County got hit hard with some of those pop-ups. All of us are going to have rain at some point between now and the finish of the day. And some of this, again, is going to be tropical in nature. So think about a Florida afternoon downpour, if you will. We're going to have several of those. We mentioned scattered to numerous, and that's what we've got. 68 Richmond, 72 in Muncie. Let's take the temperatures and match them or show you them with the dew points. We're above 60, so you can certainly feel it. This is what will fuel some of these locally heavy pockets of rainfall here. The coverage may scatter a little bit this afternoon, but I think what you see here on Future Track 13 will have more lightning with it. And then in terms of an end time, I think once we get closer to about 9, 10 o'clock, the majority of this is out of the state. Then the focus will be on the wind of change coming in tonight for tomorrow morning. We're going to set the stage for a blustery start to the weekend, but it will finish with plenty of sunshine all ahead in the 7-day forecast.
We'll see you then, Sean. Thank you. The Indiana General Assembly is voting yes to a proposed new 2-year state budget. Lawmakers debated that bill into the early morning hours today. The budget weighs in at roughly $45 billion. It is shaped by the news last week that the state would bring in about $2 billion less than expected over the next 2 years. That was after a revenue forecast that came in last week. Lawmakers are trying to make up the difference with a massive hike in taxes on cigarettes and tobacco. Comes out to roughly $3 a pack. That's projected to bring in around $800 million and discourage smoking. Lawmakers also made cuts to spending. That includes cuts to public health, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, and also cuts to public broadcasting. Democrats are calling the bill rushed. They say it did not have enough bipartisan input. Much more on that later today on 13 News at 4. Now to the east side, where we are getting an up-close look at critical issues facing that community. Really, these issues matter in any community. Things like safety, health care, transportation. Our Logan Gay was at a town hall meeting last night where community members got the chance to talk directly with city leaders about all of it.
These neighbors on the east side are working to turn this public safety town hall into a partnership with some of the city's crucial organizations. Indigo, Overdose Lifeline, Marion County Health Department, and IMPD.
A view from your perspective, why do you feel that you guys are short and how can we support you?
That support works both ways. The people here wanted to hear how these organizations plan to tackle many issues, including homelessness, mental health, pedestrian safety, construction, and overdoses.
We have half of those. We have 10 to 15 overdoses a day out of the 20 in Indianapolis.
This is personal for Cliff Marsiglio. He's known several people who have died from overdoses, including a friend a month ago.
We were talking about celebrating the fact that he got through the winter, and he decided to celebrate a little bit on his own. And they found him a few days later, and he was gone.
Leaders at Overdose Lifeline have made it their mission to make sure everyone has access to life-saving resources like naloxone.
I don't think anybody on stage can do it alone. We as a community need to step up, and we need to find out what is the best practices for us to step up and how we can help our own community.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey also spoke into questions from neighbors. He took the opportunity to update the community on his officers' efforts to get drugs and guns off Indy streets. IMPD East District Commander says this kind of dialogue is pivotal.
At the end of the day, we work for the citizens of this community. That's who we protect and serve as the police department. That is our customer. And so it's important that we have those relationships, that we listen to what our community wants, that we continue to police in the manner in which our community expects their police department to police. And the only way that we can do that is if we have that back and forth conversation with our citizens.
And KT White says that's exactly why she came.
Well, just to show up, to get engaged, to know that it's existing, that we're here, people are listening.
Also today, we are learning more about Governor Mike Braun's decision to launch a full investigation into the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. The governor says he's ordering a forensic audit to determine how the agency and its affiliates have spent millions of dollars. The announcement comes after a report from Hannah News Service raising big questions about the inner workings of IEDC's nonprofit foundation and its venture capital arm called Elevate Ventures. In response, Elevate CEO Christopher Day writes in a statement in part, "We will continue to operate with transparency and are eager to participate in the forensic audit as directed by the governor to correct the record on factual inaccuracies and misrepresentations made by anonymous sources." Now to those frustrating delays some people are dealing with when it comes to getting their mail packages. Congressman Jefferson Shreve is updating us on those delays at the Indianapolis USPS distribution hub. You may even have a package that was stuck there, backlogged with hundreds of others. Well, Congressman Shreve shared these pictures with 13 News. He toured that hub for the first time since the delays were first reported by 13 News. Shreve led a delegation of state lawmakers that launched an investigation into the delays back in February. In a letter back to lawmakers, the Postal Service blamed the delays on a transition from a smaller hub to the now much bigger facility in use.